All right, Shalom. All right,
So,
I'm the brother Yaquab with the GMS Dallas camp. All right, first off, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem,
Sham.
Rakakadash, Barakatah. I got the brother Zabak and the brother Patak and the brother Baniyah here also.
Shalom. Shalom, Michael.
Yeah, so we were just gonna do a video, not too long, going into how pretty much death is not the end all be all like the so-called Christian doctrine likes to say. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you in the church that once you die, you go to heaven or you go to hell, depending on how good of a person you were. Which all of that is not biblical, you know, because according to the scriptures, hell, heaven, and hell are conditions that are played out on the planet Earth. Okay, there's times when people go through hell on Earth. You know, there's death, famine. You know, there's pestilences. You know, there's all kinds of diseases and evil roaming the earth. You know, this is hell. You know, but for others, it's heaven. You know, for example, the so-called white man. You know, the white man is in heaven right now. He's in rulership. He has power over the whole earth right now, man. And you can see it on how these people live in their daily lives. You know, making good money, nothing to worry about, good, nice cars, nice houses, just living the life. You know, this is their heaven. But for our people, the nation of Israel, the so-called Latinos, Native American, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, this is our hell. Okay, so once you die, like the scripture said, well, as a matter of fact, can you get that real quick? Ecclesiastes 12. Let me see, and 12 and 13.
Uh, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse, you said 13, right?
Right. Yeah.
Verse 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Oh, okay, Salaki. Wait, that's not it. Let me see. Where is it? Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. Where is it? I know it's in the 12th verse. Let's see. Okay, my bad. Verse 7. Start at
Okay.
verse 7.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit return unto the Most High who gave it.
Right. So that spirit's gonna return to the back to the Most High. You know, who gave us that spirit. All right. So meaning that we're gonna go back to the spirit world for that time. All right. Now, um, that's what we call the spirit world is what Esau calls the fourth dimension. All right. That's where all the spirits and all those different spirits live, or not live, but in where they are. You know what I'm saying? The realm of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Where the Most High sits on that throne. You know, and that's that fourth dimension, the spirit world. So the spirit is gonna go back to what it say, to return unto the Most High who gave it. You know, so once you die, that spirit goes up in the spirit world. You know, stays there for however long, and then comes back down. Okay. As a matter of fact, to prove that, we can get that in Exodus. I believe it's the 24th chapter.
I got some, brother.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, it's just laying back on what we just read in that Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. How it said all goes, the spirit returned unto the Most High who gave it. It goes up to everybody, no matter who it is, okay? Whether it be from Adolf Hitler to the so-called founding fathers of America. All go to one place, like the scripture said, like the scripture tell us. But this is this Job chapter 3, and I started 13 says well, I started 12. It says, why does the need prevent me, or breast that I should suck. For now should I have lain still and been quiet. I should have slept. Then had I been at rest with the kings and counselors of the earth, which build desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, or who filled their houses with silver, or as a hidden untimely birth I had not been, as an infant which never saw light. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together. It says, they hear not the voice of the oppressor, the small and the greater there, and the servant is free from his master. Okay, just furthermore proven, you know what I'm saying? Like the scripture said in Ecclesiastes 12, man, that I'll go into, the spirit goes back unto the Most High who gave it. So like it says, man, all of there, whether it be from the small, the great, the servant, okay, and the master, the prisoner, from the oppressor, the wicked, all go into one place, man.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So if Christian logic applies, then Adolf Hitler in heaven right now, chilling, but that's not the case, your spirit comes back down. And I'll read this one real quick, just to show that in Exodus chapter 20, verse 5, it says, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, no serve them, for I, the Lord, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me." Okay, so that goes into how you come back at every third and fourth generation, to fulfill your judgment. Okay, that's why in John the 9th chapter, when the disciples saw that blind man, they asked YAHAWASHI, like, what did this man do that he was born this way? And of course, YAHAWASHI gave him a different answer, but it knows what they understood. They understood that why people are born maimed into this, like why people are born with sometimes no limbs, no sight, no hearing, not able to speak. That's because they fulfilling that judgment. These kids with Down syndrome or whatever, epilepsy, living with epilepsy all their life, autism or whatever, cancer. That's judgment from the Lord, man. They came back in that third and fourth generation to fulfill their judgment from whatever they did in that life. And you can and for people that say that this is not talking about that same person that lived that time, you can go to Ezekiel and it'll tell you that it's not talking about your line, like your son, your actual son.
I got it right here, bro.
Oh, you got it? Okay, Khan.
Yeah. Ezekiel 18 and 20 says, "The soul that sinneth, it shall die. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him."
See, the righteousness of the righteous shall be on them, and then the wickedness of the wicked is going to be on them also. And it just told you that his actual son is not going to bear the iniquity of the father. So if that is true, if what they say is true, then is the Bible contradicting itself right here? Of course not. So that means that when that in Exodus the 20th chapter, the 5th verse, it's talking about how you are going to come back through that line or into that third and fourth generation and fulfill that judgment. Not your actual son. Not, it's going to be you. The same person that maybe you, I don't know, you might have killed like 30 people in your past life, and then you just chilled the rest of your life not having to suffer anything, and then you die peacefully, and then you come back in that third and fourth generation and then fulfill that judgment.
I got a precept.
You got one?
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and 11. It says, "There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come, but those that shall come after."
Right, so you're not going to be able to remember anything that you did in your past life. That's how the Most High set it up. You know, just how you program a computer to do certain things, the Most High programmed that to happen like that. You know, for you to come back in that line. I mean, of course, nobody's gonna be able to remember. You know what I'm saying? Nobody remembers anything, and that's how the Most High. That's how he wanted. You know what I'm saying? And actually, can you start at verse 1 in that chapter?
Brother. Verse 1 it says, all the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full until the unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again.
Wait, is
All
that?
things,
Oh, my bad. Is that verse 1?
I'm at 7. Salakia. This is verse 1. It says, the words of the preacher, the son of David, king of Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity.
Right. So
What prophet has a
my bad. No, I was just gonna say yeah. So vanity of vanities, right? So he's saying pretty much everything is because the word vanity means empty. Okay, you know, vanity means like pretty much there's no point, right? So he said vanity of vanities. Said the preacher, vanity of vanities. All is vanity, right? Go ahead.
It says, what prophet hath the man of his labor, of all his labor, which he taketh under the sun?
Right.
One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
Right. So you know what prophet had the man of all his labor? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you keep reading through Ecclesiastes, he says he pretty much makes the point of like, what's the point of doing all this labor under the sun just for me to die and leave it for somebody else who might be wicked or something like that, you know? So vanity of vanities, man. Like it's like a empty. It's empty. It's pointless, right? And then you know, one generation comes and the next generation passes away, you know, and the only thing that really stands there, like he made that point, is the earth, right? Go ahead.
It says,
Oh, my bad, Salakia. If you look at that word generation in the Hebrew, it's let's see, dawar, okay, and it says age, generation of men as of the period and circuits of the years of life, right? So remember that it says the circuits of the years of life, right? Go ahead.
it says, what prophet hath a man of all his labors which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose. So like and hasted to his place where he arose. The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits.
Right. So that's the point right there, right? So it says the sun goes up, comes down, you know what I'm saying, and you know it goes up and it goes back to where it came from. The wind does the same thing. It goes around the whole earth continually, and then everything goes back according to his circuits, right? And then we all know what the word circuit means. It means pretty much like a circuit, like a circle, right? Which is where that word comes from, right? So if you go to let me see, if you go to Second Ezra's,
I got you right here, bro.
you got it.
Yeah, I'll get straight to it.
Come.
It's Second Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first.
Right. So the Most High's judgment is likened unto a ring. Okay. Like it says, it said there's no slackness of the what did it say, of the last or the first?
Yeah, it says, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first.
Right, man. So that goes into how pretty much when the amount of people dying isn't gonna overcome the amount of people being born. Okay, so them spirits is like the whole thing is flowing like a circle. Okay, like the spirit's going upward and the spirit's going back downward to the earth. You know, and you can read that in Ecclesiastes how the spirit of man goes up and it comes down. You know, which ties into Ecclesiastes the 12th chapter, where it says that the spirit of man goes back to the Most High who gave it. Okay, so it's like that whole circle, man. Like the Lion King makes a good point. You know, the circle of life. You know, you live, you die, you come back again. Okay, and it happens like that continually. All right. So there is no slackness of the first, and there is no swiftness, or what did it say? There is no slackness of the last, and no swiftness of the first. Right.
It says there is no slack it. There is no slackness of the what did I say? It was slack. I lost that mud, bro.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
okay.
It says like yes, there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first.
Yeah, you know, so that's what that means, all right? So that means that the amount of spirits being brought back into this world is not overcoming the spirits leaving going back to the heavenly Father. All right? And goes back to that circuit like we read, you know, in that word generation in Ecclesiastes, the war, you know, age, generation of men as if the period and circuits of the years of life. Okay? And like the brother read in verse 6, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits, is the same thing with the spirit. You know, because the wind is a spirit. You know, but the same thing with our spirits, it all goes back into that circuit. You know, like okay, is there more on that?
What was it, bro?
Okay, can you go back in that Ecclesiastes?
Chapter 1.
Right. Yeah. Look. So remember what the brother Banayah brought out, and then read verse 7 in Ecclesiastes.
It says, all the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again.
See, there you go. That's that same point. You know, like there's no slackness of the last, there's no swiftness of the first. You know, all the rivers run to the sea, and the sea is not full. You know, they go back to where the rivers come. You know, and then from there they return again. All right, it's the same thing. That circuit, that circle of life. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lion King. Right. Let's see. Is there more on that? Oh yeah. Keep going.
I think that's it on that.
No wait. Yeah.
There's a little more.
Yeah. Keep going on that one.
Okay. It says, all things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that hath been kind, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
Yeah, man. So everything comes back. All right. You know, cars, and these different technologies ain't nothing new, man. We've had of course we haven't had cars as advanced as these that we have today, but we had things in that form back in the ancient world too. You know, chariots, you know, whatever types of different transportation, you know what I'm saying, cooking grills, you know what I'm saying, beds, whatever. You know what I'm saying? All those things are there ain't nothing new under the sun. Same goes with
even the spirit.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, that's sluggy, brother.
No, you got it.
No, I was gonna say just because it's a verse in Job, I think chapter 14, where it says that something like if a man dies, shall he live again? And then it says like all the appointed time will I wait till my change come. Okay, so like you said, man, there's no new thing under the sun. Just giving that example, like you said about the cars. You know what I'm saying? Back then, we was riding in chariots with horses, man. It comes back. It's the same thing, but it's just in a different form. It's the same thing with us, man. Okay, our body dies, man. It's the same spirit, just comes back in a different body. You know?
Right. Yeah. That's right. That's good. As a matter of fact, can you go back to that Job 3rd chapter where you left off?
Come on, bro.
There's a point that Job makes that shows you that like okay, like he's gonna come back. You know, he's gonna have to come back in order for that to happen, right? Look, go ahead.
Okay, it says, want to continue out where I left off or what, bro?
Yeah. Continue where you left off.
Okay, this Job 3:19, it says, the small and the greater there, and the servant is free from his master. Wherefore is light given to him that is in misery, and life unto the bitter in soul. It says, which long for death, but it cometh not, and dig for it more than for hidden treasures, which rejoice exceedingly and are glad when they can find the grave. It says, why is the light given to a man whose way is hid, in whom the Most High have hedged in? For my sight cometh before I eat, and my roaring are poured out like the waters. Verse 25. For the things which I greatly feared is come upon me, and that which I was afraid of is come unto me. I was not in safety, neither had I rest, neither was I quiet.
Oh, Salaki,
Yet trouble came.
my bad, bro. It's not the third chapter. It's the 19th chapter. I was thinking of something else. Okay, yeah. Can you get Job 19? Start at verse 25. My bad.
Okay, come on. Job 19 and 25, it says, for I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter days upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High.
Right, there you go. So it says in verse 25, and I know my Redeemer liveth, and he shall stand at the latter day, talking about YAHAWASHI. Okay. And then what did that last verse you said?
It says, and though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High.
So how is that going to happen? He just said that his skin and his body is going to go fade away. You know, it's going to go back to that dust. You know, and return to the earth. You know, he said that the worms is going to destroy his body, but then he said that his flesh is going to see the Most High, or he's going to see God. You know, so how is that? How does that work? You know, he's going to come back. He's going to come back and he's going to see Yahawashi in the flesh. How? Because his spirit's going to come back again. You know, Job died a long time ago. You know, but through that reincarnation, okay, he's back here today, man.
Right.
That's how.
One more word.
Okay, Khan.
Okay, verse 27, it says, whom I shall see for myself, and my eyes shall behold him, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me.
See, there you go. You know, though his reins be consumed within me, or he's going to see him himself with his own eyes, like the brother just read. You got more on that?
Oh, no, that was it, brother.
Khan, yeah. So you see that? So Job, man, as a matter of fact, the Lord told Daniel the same thing. If somebody I think it's Daniel the 12th chapter is like the last verse. You know, because he told Daniel, like, you're gonna come back, Daniel. Let me see.
I got you.
You got it?
Yeah. It's Daniel 12 and 13. But go thou thy way to the end, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days.
Yeah. So he told him, you're gonna die, Daniel, but you're gonna have to come back and stand in thy lot at the end of the days, man. So Daniel's here, and we at the end of the days. You know, so Daniel's here walking around today. Oh, my bad. You got something, Sabat?
No, I had got a phone call. I was trying to read that Daniel 12 and 13. I didn't know if y'all heard me or not.
Oh, no, I didn't hear you. Salakia.
Did it come out already?
Yeah. The brother Banayah just read it.
Oh, okay. Salakia, I kill.
No, you're good. You know, but right. Yeah, the water. Can you read that again, actually?
Come on, Daniel 12 and 13. But go thou thy way to the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days.
Right. And he told Daniel, like, you're gonna give up the ghost, you're gonna die, but then you're gonna have to come back and do your job. You're gonna stand in your lot. You know, so Daniel might be out here. He might be one of the brothers within Great Millstone, or might be somewhere else, you know, doing what he's got to do for the Lord. You know, he's standing back in that lot. There's another one too with Elijah. Let me see.
Talking about what Yahawashi said.
Another one in Malachi. No, wait, not Malachi. Yeah, Malachi. Yeah.
Malachi.
Can you get that one? Malachi 4.
4. Gotcha. Malachi chapter 4, verse 5, it says, Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahawah.
Yeah, and then has that happened yet? Did that happen back in that time? You know, of course not. You know, that dreadful day of the Lord hasn't happened yet. You know, the day of Jacob's trouble, the day when the whole earth is going to be judged. You know.
Right. There's another one in Second Esdras.
Well, you got it. If you can get it.
Yeah, Second Esdras chapter 16 and 17. It says, "Woe is me! Woe is me! Who will deliver me in those days?"
My bad. You got it, Zabak. My bad. My computer's about to
Khan. Ezra was pretty much saying, "Who's going to deliver me in the day of the Lord? When all hell breaks loose, when all the turmoil and troubles are going to be on the earth before the Heavenly Father sent His Son to redeem His men, because His men are going to be down here in it. They're going to be down here, witnessing all of the things that are going on, all the deaths and the plagues and." The time that's worse than any time that ever been in the world,
Right. The water. Yeah, that's right. So that dreadful day ain't happened yet. But the Lord said that He was going to send Elijah the prophet, right? Can you finish that off in Malachi?
God, it says verse 6, lock it. And He shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the hearts of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse.
Right, so he said He's going to turn the heart of the fathers to the children and the heart of the children to their fathers, man. And that happened, we believe through the Spirit, that happened with Abba Bivens during that time. He started returning the heart of the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, back towards Yahawah, man. YAHAWASHI, And then it trickled on down to the elders, apostles, who we know today, man. As a matter of fact, let's see, to prove that point, I think it's in John somewhere, if you know which one I'm talking about, with YAHAWASHI. I think you had mentioned it, Benayah.
Let me see.
Isn't that same account in Matthew 16?
Oh, okay.
Who do men say that I am?
Is it? I heard, read it, see what it says.
It's Matthew 16 and 13. It says, when Yahawashi came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, He asked His disciples, saying, "Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" And they said, "Some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets."
Yeah, so, okay, see, they had made that point. Like, look, some say that you're Elijah coming back. Let's see, what verse was that?
That was Matthew 16 and 13.
Matthew 16. Okay, let's see. Says some say
I got that down to 17, bro.
Which one?
Basically what Yahawah saying, going into Elias, bro.
Okay, there's one I'm looking for that says that he's one of the old prophets that had risen again, or something like that. All right, read that one that you got.
Lock it, brother. What you say?
Oh yeah, can you read that one that you got?
God, this is Matthew 17, and then I started. Let me see. I started at 9. It says, "And as they came down from the mountain, Yahushua charged them, saying, Tell the vision to no man until the Son of Man be raised again from the dead. And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must come first? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall come first and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise also shall the Son of Man suffer of them." Verse 13, then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist.
Con, okay, yeah. That's a good one right there too. I forgot about that one. Yeah, so we pretty much said like, yeah, Elijah's he already came, you know. And then the disciples said, okay, he's talking about John, you know. So that, but and that's another time that Elijah had come back, and he did the same thing. He was doing the same thing that he said in Malachi, you know, showing you that John was Elijah in the reincarnation, coming back even to during the '60s, man. You know, to bringing back the nation of Israel to that remembrance. All right, that return them to the hearts of the children to the Father. You know,
Okay.
as a matter of
Yeah.
fact, can you get? Oh, you got something, Anna?
I was gonna say, you know, John the Baptist played the same role as Elder Abba Bivens, you know, during the time of Yahawashi's coming on the scene. You know, he prepared the way. He was doing what? Baptizing the, you know, believers in the name of, you know, in the name of Yahawah, baptizing them to get them ready to receive the Lord, right? And now in these times that we're entering into, we're getting ready to receive the Lord again, and we're getting spiritually baptized with the Holy Spirit to be able to break down the prophecies and understand the things that that the Most High needs us to understand for these latter days. So that similarity is there, you know, and it was also prophesied. It said what he would come again, right? And so just a side note, you know, we're in those times that Yahweh Shai spoke about. And what was that? You said Matthew 17.
God.
Yeah, 20. Who would have thought 2019 going into 2020? We in them times right now.
God.
Beautiful.
Okay. Is there more on that one?
Oh, no, that was it, brother.
Okay. Can somebody get Luke 9:6? There's another point right there that I want to make.
All right. This is Luke chapter 9, verse 6.
Yeah.
It says, and they departed and went through the towns, preaching the gospel and healing everywhere. Now Herod the Tetrarch heard of all that was done by him, and he was perplexed, because that it was said of some that John was risen from the dead, and of some that Elias had appeared, and of others that one of the old prophets was risen again.
See, there you go. You know, first they thought, okay, Elijah's back, John risen from the dead. You know, or is that a prophet that, you know, what was that last part about the prophet?
Yeah, it said, and of others that one of the old prophets was risen again.
Yeah, man, one of those old prophets is coming back. You know, and that shows you how different these times were, man. Because you know, even Herod, you know, he was an Edomite, you know, but you know, they understood that these things were real, you know.
Yeah, and they feared, man. They feared. You gotta put it into perspective. Like these miracles that we read about, and you know, the time of Kings, you know, Book of Daniel, and things like that. These were relatively recent events. You know, I mean, you had these things going on prior to the Babylonian Empire, going on all the way through the Grecian Empire with the Maccabees. They were essentially doing miracles in the way that they were able to defeat these armies. They may not have been specifically, you know, doing the job of a prophet per se, but Israel was still revered. And so when you had word of, you know, one of these mighty prophets, you know, being risen again, you can imagine like the fear from, you know, an Edomite who's knowingly an imposter. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I just killed John the Baptist. You know, probably, you know, you know what I mean? It's just like you said, Yaquah, putting yourself in that position back then, like it was a big deal. You know, you don't know what the prophet's gonna do. And we're coming into them times now too, man.
Yep, that's right. Can you jump? I think if you jump down to verse 18, there's like a point right there. Hold on. What does the verse 18 say in that same chapter?
Verse 18 says, and it came to pass, as he was alone praying, the disciples were with him, and he asked them, saying, Whom say the people that I am.
Oh, okay. So it's the same, pretty much the same what the brothers read, right? In the Matthew.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Come. So yeah, it's three different accounts. Maybe there's more somewhere, in the New Testament, but so it shows you, how many times in the scriptures it lets you know about the reincarnation. Okay. Let's see. I think there's one in. Okay. You know what? Can you go back to Ecclesiastes 1, chapter 1? There's a point I wanted to make.
Sorry. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, which verse?
Where'd you leave off at?
I think I left off at like 10 or 9.
Okay,
Where it
read
says
verse.
there's no new thing under the sun.
Yeah, read verse 10.
It says, is there anything thereof it may be said, see, this is new. It hath been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
Okay, Khan. Now, see, it says, is there anything, right, wherever may it be said, see, this is new, right? And then in
Right.
verse, yeah, and it makes the point that there's no new thing, you know what I'm saying? So if you go to
Right.
verse 6, I believe, where is it? Or is it verse 7? Damn, I can't remember. Hold on, give me a second.
So is it 9? Is it 9, Akia?
You know which one I'm talking about?
Is it or 4? One generation passeth away, and another generation coming.
No. It says pretty much that thing. Well, I'll just tell you. I don't want to. It's pretty much somewhere. I think it's first chapter, either in chapter 7 or chapter 9 or somewhere in Ecclesiastes. It says that thing. Okay, like it says right here, there's no new thing under the sun. And if you go over to that verse that I'm talking about, it says that thing is
Oh,
man.
you talking about chapter? You talking about verse 9? It says that thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done, it is that which shall be done.
Okay, look,
There's
yeah,
no
look.
new thing under the sun.
Okay, it ties into that one, but it
Talking
shows
about 3 and 15.
which one?
3 and 15. That which has been is now, and that which is to be have already been. The Most High required that which is past.
Okay, yeah. See, okay, that's the one I was thinking of that ties into the verse I was talking about right now. Okay, it says that thing that was is man. Pretty much showing you that thing that comes back is there's no new thing. It's talking about man. You can link those two up to prove that you can also to prove that it's talking about people. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can find it real quick. You know what? Here, I'll just look it up on the blue letter.
And if I can make a point too, in 11 it says, "There's no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after." It's like, how could people that's newly born into this world remember anything from the past? If not, they had already been here, before, which is hitting at them being here spiritually before, but they can't remember the things that they went through in their past life.
God, yeah, that's right. Okay, I found it. So you made that point. You brothers made that point in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, right? Where is it? That which has been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Lord required that which is past, right? So if you read Ecclesiastes 6 and 10, it says that which hath been is named already, and it is known that it is man. Neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he, and it shows you, and you can show these people like, look, see, that thing that's been already been around is man. That spirit that comes, that when you die comes back. You could, like the brother Bonnie I had made, we just come back in a different body, man. That's why the scripture referred to these bodies as vessels. Let me see, I got another one. Let's see, Hebrews 11, right? Hebrews 11 and 35. Let's see what that one says. Okay, so 11:35. Right, it says women received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection. Right, so that, yeah, and that's another point right there. You know, they and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection, and others had trial of cruel mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover of bonds and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They were wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented, on whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and causes of the earth, or caves, so like caves of the earth. And these all, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise. Yahweh having provided some better thing for us, that they without us should not be made perfect. Okay, yeah, so that was that point right there. You know, that better resurrection. And it made that examples right there in those few verses. You know, and that reminds me of the seven children and their mother, right? Or the seven brothers and their mother in Second Maccabees. Because I think their mother makes a point too. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if because I think she says something about that too. Like Second Maccabees 7:30. Right, it says, while she was yet speaking these words, the young man said, whom wait ye for? I will not obey the king's commandment, but I will obey the commandment of the law that was given unto our fathers by Moses. And thou that hast been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews shall not escape the hands of the Lord. You know, so even those people that were there torturing them and burning them alive just because they wouldn't eat that pork, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna come back and have to receive that judgment for that. You know, like it says in Revelation, or was it Revelations? It said even him that pierced him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, even that guy's gonna have to come back and receive that judgment. All right, so it says, "For we suffer because of our sins," right, which we all know. And though the living Lord be angry with us a little while for our chastening and correction, yet shall he be at one again with his servants. But thou, O godless man, and of all other most wicked, be not lifted up without a cause, nor puffed up with uncertain hopes, lifting up thy hand against the servants of the Lord. For thou hast not yet escaped the judgment of Almighty power, who seeth all things, man. So even if these people are all the people that during the time of the North Atlantic slave trade, all the way to the civil rights movement, all them Edomites and these other nations just chilling and benefiting off of us, and dying so-called peaceful deaths to where nothing really ever happened to her. Just like that one lady that accused that one kid of I think raping her or something, or looking at her wrong. You know who I'm talking about?
Am I Emmett Till?
Yeah. So she lived her whole life without going to jail, without being persecuted or nothing. You know, and I believe she never went to jail, did she?
Nah, she ain't go to jail.
Yeah, you know, examples like that, man. That's
I got a precept.
Oh, you got one? Okay, come.
This is Jeremiah chapter 49:12. It says, "For thus saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup of the surely drunken. And art thou he that shall go altogether, so like it, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it."
Right. It's like a
Going into,
okay.
so like going into, people that have done iniquity in their life and died without paying for it.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you know. What's that one in Ecclesiastes that said that the wicked man live his life and nothing ever happens to him? You know what you want to talk about?
Uh, say it again, bro.
There's one in Ecclesiastes. I forget how it goes. Pretty much going into how the wicked live their whole life, pretty much, and then like nothing ever touches them. You know what I mean? Therefore is in their heart to continue to do wickedness.
Is it 10?
Chapter 10.
Do wickedness 100 times.
Let's see. Read it. What does it say?
I'm trying to find it. It's Ecclesiastes 8 and 11.
Oh, okay. Let's see. 8 and 11. It says, because sentence against of an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of man is fully sent to them to do evil. Yeah, that's the one. You know what I'm saying? So these Edomites go around doing all kinds of wickedness, murdering, killing, robbing, stealing their whole lives, and nothing ever happens to them. It's fully set in their heart to continue to do those wicked things. You know, like, man, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. Like, damn, I killed over 30 people. You know, man, there's people there's serial killers back in the 80s and 70s that ain't been caught till like recently. You know what I'm saying? And especially these politicians, man. All these different things, all these pedophiles and everything, man. They getting away scot free.
Right.
You know, ain't nothing touching them, man. And and because of that, because they're like, nah, I'm good. Ain't that shit? I'll do it again. You know, and they will do it again. You know, but like the scriptures say, man, just because you died your life not being judged for all the wickedness that you done ain't mean that you just gonna get away with it. You know, that's why we read that in Revelation 13 and 9. That's why we always bring out that point. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, and he that leadeth into captivity must be put in captivity. You know, these Edomites ain't escaped captivity yet. It's coming. You know, it might.
It's a more on that, bro.
So, like, what'd you say?
I said it's a more on that. What you had read.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Verse 12. It says, "Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his day be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Yahweh, which fear before him." Yeah. So yeah, it's even if a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with the fear of the Most High, which fear before him. You know. So, yeah, like the scripture said, man. Like, even if that wicked man does it 200 times, 300 times, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be. It's at the end of the day, we know that they gonna have that there's no escaping the YAHAWASHI judgment. You know that little boy that you see walking around with the hands like this and slobbering. You know what I'm saying? That's that judgment. You know, like I don't feel. Bros might feel different. For me, I don't feel sorry for them. You know, because I understand like that wicked ass nigga right there. You know. He like for real though, like that dude was born like that because there's a reason for everything. You know, the Lord didn't just make it happen like like just because he felt like it's because he's receiving that judgment. Who knows, man? That little retarded boy with his hands like this, looking up at this, he probably might have been that guy that killed like 500 Israelites back in the day during the slave trade or something, or even during the Roman Empire. Who knows? You know. And that's why the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, man. You know, I know you brothers walk around every day thinking like, nah, I can't do that, man. The Lord fuck me up. You know,
Right.
you know how much the Lord will fuck us up more quicker than these other nations, man. So even if you're doing something and you, for example, like the flesh get the better of you and you do something, the Lord maybe he'll fuck you up right then and there, you know. You know, you might get in a
Right.
car accident or something, or you might somebody might steal $1,000 from your account. You know what I'm saying? We're more susceptible to those things because we understand of the consequences. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like
Hey,
that. My bad.
that's bro.
My bad. You said you got something?
No, I was just gonna land back, bro. Like I said, man, though a sinner do evil 100 times, they days are prolonged. There's gonna be well with them to fear the most high. Cause yeah, you know what I'm saying. We're not perfect. You know what I'm saying, but we're not out here just, you know what I'm saying, indulging and doing like these people, man. Cause these people are just committing wickedness. You know what I'm saying? Just sin after sin, man. You know what I mean? But
God.
like I said, you gonna be well with. Hey, we fear the most high, man. So we trying to tread lightly. We trying to, you know what I'm saying. We not out here. We trying to resist that flesh, man. You know,
Right.
but they not. That's why it says in the next verse, man, it's not gonna be well with the wicked. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. That's right. Con, that's a good point. There's one more, I believe. Let me see. In the second Maccabees, the 12th chapter, and then we can end it off on that one. If anybody else got any more precepts, let me see. I think it's 12. Select it. Damn, am I tripping right now? What the fuck? Oh, okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, it's the second Maccabees. What is it? 12? All right. 12 and 43. Let me see. What does that say? Okay, so it says second Maccabees 12 and 33. It says, and when he had made a gathering throughout the company to the sum of 2,000 drachms of silver, he sent it to Jerusalem to offer a sin offering, doing therein very well, and honestly, and that he was mindful of the resurrection. For if he had not hoped that they that were slain should have risen again, it had been superfluous and vain to pray for the dead. Okay, so look, see, it made that point right there. For if he had not hoped that they that were slain should have risen again, it had been superfluous and vain to pray for the dead. You know, so it's like okay, so he understood like okay, these people, you know, like they were killed, but it was in his mind that he knew like that of the resurrection that they won't come back, right? And then
Right.
in verse 45 it says, and also in that he perceived that there was great favor laid up for those that died godly. It was an holy and good thought, whereupon that he made a reconciliation for the dead, that they might be delivered from sin. You know, so that's what we know. That's what we know and understand and hope for. You know, brothers that might die in the truth, might be have their heads cut off. You know, through that guillotine or be tortured or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We understand that even if we die here, we gonna come back. You know, and we gonna take and those brothers that are gonna have to suffer those things and die are going to be a part of that resurrection. You know that first part, if that makes any sense. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and he understood that in this verse. You know, it's what it say. For if he had not hoped that they were slain, but had risen again, it had been. You know, so if he didn't know that, it would have been pretty much like pointless. You know, for him to pray for that. You know, but he understood that. Look, they died, but they gonna come back.
Right.
And that's why we tell these brothers, like, yeah, you know, some of us might have to die, and that's something hard to think about, and you know, to have to get over. But just imagine the reward. You know, you're gonna come back in a better state. You know, you're gonna come back
Right.
in a celestial form. You know, and have that opportunity to lay vengeance on your enemies. You know, like actual vengeance. You know.
Right.
So if anybody got anything else, any other verses that they want to bring out that I might have missed?
We got one more. It's Matthew chapter 19 and 28. It says, and Yahawashi said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the generation of the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory. He also shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
God, yeah, so they gonna come back. There's not like the scripture say, man. Like he said that they gonna judge the 12, sit on the throne, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, man. So you being in this thing and dying for the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and the sake of this truth is gonna have a great reward. You're not just gonna be killed and then that's it, you in heaven or hell, like the Christians say. Because of course that's not true. You're gonna go up to the spirit world. Lord. You're going. Lord might. He's gonna be like, yeah, like what. We're gonna tell. Obviously, you're gonna hear something. Like, oh, well, you did good. You died for the. And then he's gonna send you back, put you in those new bodies, and then the kingdom. Of course, there's things in between that's gonna happen, but once you die for this truth, then that's the worst. That's the worst. That's the worst end of it. That's the worst part. You got done already. And after that, it's just gonna be straight. I mean, chilling. That you're gonna come back no matter what. That's why the Lord said, "Fear not them that destroy the body, but fear Him that can destroy both body and soul." The Lord has control of all these things. The way, So even if you think about, even a while back, we did a class on how, yeah, we might have to die for this thing, but the Lord might set it up to where you might not feel any pain. Like that says in Wisdom of Solomon, no torment shall touch thee. And remember that article we read about that one brother that got put in that bull, that furnace shaped like a bull, and pretty much the spirit left him while they were trying to burn him, and then when they took him out, he was dead, but he didn't have no burns on him. You know what I'm saying? That that might, and then with the three holy children, you know what I'm saying, when they were thrown in that furnace, they didn't, that fire didn't touch them. Yahushua was in there with them. And the same thing could happen with us, man, if we believe. And our Lord willing, the Most High put that spirit on all of us to endure those things and to be able to fulfill His will. Anybody got anybody got anything else? All right, so with that, I'm gonna say, Kal Halal, Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim Kakadash. Okay, double honors to Apostle Noses Graham Milson, who teach and rule well. Peace and blessings to Akim scattered throughout the four corners, keeping His word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.